Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, but we are back and better, baby. In the first hour of the show, we've got to cover all things to do with health. It is Health Tuesday, and we're excited to welcome Dr. Celeste van Drunik, a specialist gynecologist and gynecological oncologist who dedicated her career to advancing women's health. Very important work that we've got going here. And today she brings a wealth of knowledge to the conversation on the often overlooked but critical aspect of female metabolic health. Now, from the impacts of hormonal changes during menstruation, pregnancy and menopause to the intricate connections between stress and sleep. Our metabolic well-being is something that we definitely need to delve into. Doc, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
We're chatting off air about how important this work is, not just in Women's Month, but I think all year round, right?
Definitely, definitely, yes.
Well, let's get into the first little bit. It's all around the metabolic health, right?
Yes.
Something that maybe isn't a table conversation when we have dinner, but it is very vital when it comes to women in particular. Can you talk to me more about metabolic health?
So metabolic health is actually, there's no real definition, but you can see it as the way your body reacts to the food and the fuel that you give it, right? And so if it reacts positively, it means that you have a good metabolic health. So if you can manage your blood sugar levels and your blood pressure and your blood fat levels, your cholesterol levels, it means you have good metabolic health, which is very important.
And I wonder, because, you know, we always have this conversation about high metabolism, fast metabolism. When you hit over 30, it just keeps slowing down, apparently, when it comes to women and men alike. But do hormonal changes have any impact on our metabolic health?
I mean, during reproductive years, so when you're younger, especially for women, yes, it might fluctuate your metabolic rate slightly during your cycle. And pregnancy, of course, increases your metabolic rate. But what we do ourselves, the food that we put into our body, how much we move, that really influences our metabolic health. And so later on, when women go through menopause, that's really when we see an increased risk for metabolic syndrome. And then we need to think about the factors that we can influence early on to prevent, poor metabolic health.
Oh my goodness. Lifestyle factors.
Definitely, yes.
Do these impact? I mean, we live in such a stressful time. Life is so demanding. We're so time poor. So how exactly do we marry these two together to ensure optimal health?
I think we shouldn't overcomplicate it. I think, people tend to overcomplicate what we should do to be healthy and have a good metabolic health. But it starts with the food that we eat. We need to eat whole foods. We need to eat more fruits and vegetables. And we know that. But it's not always easy. And I say to my patients, live by the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, eat healthy. Choose more fruits and vegetables and healthy proteins as well. 20% of the time, go and have your pizza on a Friday night. That's fine. Eat the chocolate if you want the chocolate. And then we need to move. We need to move our bodies. Exercise is different for different people, but we need to move on a daily basis. We need to get our steps in. We need to be active.
And when it comes to research advancements, like we said, this is a topic that needs to be explored more, but it is your speciality. So is there anything that excites you that's coming out now, or things that you feel like we need to know?
Yes, there's actually a lot of new research coming out and has already been published about the gut microbiome. So these are the little, microorganisms, the bacteria and the virus and the fungi that inhabit, the body and specifically the gut. And if that gut microbiome is healthy, we know it decreases your risk for metabolic syndrome and high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and even cancer. It also actually is linked to an increased metabolic mental health. If it is healthy, it's astonishing.
I love that. And also the way you talk about medicine in particular does seem very much in a good, nice little triangle. It's mind, body and soul added together. We cannot leave the one or the other off the table, right? And is this important when you're young as much as it is when you're maybe approaching menopause, approaching 50s, that age group?
Oh, for sure. I mean, throughout your life, mental health is extremely important and we need to look after that. The body and the soul is connected. If your mental health is not intact, your risk of metabolic syndrome also increases, of obesity and all the other diseases that's linked to that. So that's extremely important throughout life, especially in the beginning, but also later on in life.
Doc, a quick one. Are there any metabolic issues that affect women more than men? Like, are we more prone to diabetes? Because I know we carry fat on our bodies.
Yes, so as you go through menopause, as women go through menopause, there is a shift in body composition.
Yes.
But the risk of metabolic diseases go up because of the decrease in certain female hormones. And so we need to, address these factors that can decrease our risk for metabolic syndrome early on, even before menopause. And even if you're through menopause, it's never too late. You need to start today.
Start today, I think, is what I'm
Yes.
taking away from this, regardless of your age right now. But if somebody is facing something and they're going, okay, I'm already here, doc, what do I do now? Are there any supplements or medication that you could perhaps provide to us to assist?
I think a supplement is exactly what the name says. It's a supplement. It's supplement to what you are eating and what you're putting into your body. And I think, and how much you're moving. So yes, if you follow a certain diet, like a plant-based diet, you might need a little bit more vitamin B12 or iron. But if you eat enough fruits and vegetables and in healthy, oils and seeds and nuts, you'll get all the micronutrients as well that you need. So I think that's very important to remember. Hormonal things, that's very individualistic.
Yeah.
It differs. Through menopause, there's definitely a role for hormones. It helps with metabolic health. It does protect the heart and the bones.
Right.
But that we need to look at, patient per patient.
Doc, if there's just one bit of advice that you could give a woman right now, we are in Women's Month and we're talking specifically about metabolic health within women, what would you say to them that they can do today?
Start today.
Yeah.
I think follow the 80-20 rule, 80% of your diet. And I don't like the word diet because I'm not saying restrict. You shouldn't restrict anything. But you should focus on 80% of the time, or at least 80% of the time, eating a healthy diet, moving more, sleeping well, sleeping enough. That's also important. Managing your mental health. And having a sense of purpose, I think that's also very important.
Oh, I love that. You're ending it off with what I think is one of the most important things. Yes to purpose, yes to balance, yes to good health, and it is available for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, Doc, so much for joining us. This was so informative. We hope to have you back soon, and I hope that you grabbed something really special from that. Start today is what you need to be doing, and not only that, you need to have a balanced lifestyle, and this is where you get started.